In 1879, a German philosopher by the name of Wilhelm Wundt created a lab studying the sensations and perceptions of the human mind. This lab that he created was the first of its kind in order to break down the structure of the human mind into its most basic elements to understand how the human mind perceives things and how it sensationalizes things. Or in other words, his approach was coined as structuralism. And because he was the first to create the lab and one of the ones to introduce the school of thought of studying the human mind, he will be coined as the father of what we now know as the field of psychology. Now, obviously, the discipline of psychology has grown since the 19th century. It has evolved into so many different theories and practices and approaches that all fall within the umbrella, and it has been helpful in creating so many different fields that we all know of today. From psychiatry to psychotherapy to social work and even aspects of self-help care. Psychology has been used in the modern world to help us understand ourselves as humans, to help us understand how we come into the world, and to help understand the world in general. And while there are obvious benefits from us learning how our minds operate, not everyone knows how to use psychology information in good faith or knows how to properly apply the information that they're learning. And while the discipline of psychology has helped shape our world for the better, there is a history in our past and present world where the discipline has been used to cause some harm or has just been used in a weird way. And what happens when this information is used in malice, improperly, or just left incorrected? You get like this.
It's the beauty of narcissism. I am that balance. I am a narcissist.
I think she's absolutely a narcissist. She's a very big narcissist.
I'm wrong mostly about the people I date, but I am almost always right when I call these celebrities the way that I see them, because I can look at them from that 30,000 mile up viewpoint and say, I see who you are in totality.
We should not be condoning and advocating for clear signs of depression, because the only times I've ever been raggedy in public is when something was off with me mentally.
Is using AI as therapy a really, really stupid idea, or is it actually a bit of a life hack?
Yikes.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga. Big Birkin bag, hold 5-6 figures.
Good morning, good evening, good day to everyone that's watching. Thank you for tuning into the World of Jalen. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a returning member of the church, welcome back. Please take your shoes off because I don't know where the fuck y'all been. So it's been a minute since I did on a YouTube video, about a couple months, and a lot has happened, obviously. ICE is pissing me off. Israel's pissing me off. Ivanka Trump's walrus looking daddy been pissing me off. The world's in turmoil, but nothing's new. I will say it is what it is, but it shouldn't have to be this way. But hey, that's neither here nor there. And let's not negate the fact that it feels like we're in the crevice of Satan's toes outside. Hence why I have to wear this t-shirt, because I'm going to burn up if I wear anything else. I might as well just come out here naked. I don't know. Needless to say, today's topic is something that I feel like is really important, especially when it comes to how it is that we understand human behavior and mental health. And what better month to talk about this than Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? Because clearly men care about their own mental health. Hence why we're entering a third world war because of men having poor mental health. Right. But enough ranting and raving. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic, which is pop psychology. Defining pop psychology or popular psychology is the simplification of psychological concepts or theories used for general public consumption. And while there can be truth to the concepts and theories that people who are not in the field of psychology use, especially when they just randomly use it on social media, it isn't always, or matter of fact, it's rarely rooted in scientific value. And many times it's used for the sake of rationalizing social or emotional behavior without regard for the evidence-based information that could back that information up or disregard it. From y'all calling people narcissists just because they're mean to you, from y'all self-diagnosing yourselves because you filled out a BuzzFeed questionnaire. Many things that fall within the realm of pop psychology don't actually hold weight within academic or clinical spaces. But in the ways that many of us are applying these concepts and theories are wrong, why does pop psychology continue to be popular? How does this continue to happen amongst the general public? For starters, pop psychology terms and theories don't require expertise to understand them. You don't have to get extensive education in order to understand information that's broken down to the point that you just get it off rip and then apply it to your life. And in many cases, that's great. And that should be the case. You shouldn't have to go to school for X, Y, and Z years in order to understand how it is that your mind works and how the mind of people in your community operate. And it would have been great for some of us to not have to go to school for 4 years and still going to school right now to learn the same shit. But with pop psychology itself, it is simplifying what appears to be scientific language in order to make people feel like they're obtaining the complex knowledge and learning how it is to apply it to their lives. And much of that kind of leads into the next point of what makes pop psychology popular is accessibility to education and the fact that not everyone has it. From higher learning to access to books and articles in order to help learn the appropriate information, not everyone has the means of getting connected with those type of resources to learn the scientific concepts and theories that they're supposed to know when it comes to understanding how their mind works. And we can't negate the fact that we're operating within movements of anti-intellectualism, where people are actively being discouraged to take time out to study this information for long periods of time. And much of the ways that people are going to get this information that is going to be convenient for them and simplified in a way that's going to make them understand without having to do much work is through media, particularly social media. From random infographics about self-care to online personality tests to motivational videos to podcasts. All of these things and more help us, in theory, to understand mental health and to understand how it is that our minds operate. These simplified concepts can be used to confirm some of our biases, which can be good, also can be bad. It can be used for personal growth. It can be used for practical advice and can be used to rationalize those complex ideas to, again, make it more accessible for us. And even with that, it comes to another point of what makes pop psychology popular, which is access to care. Not everyone has access to a professional, and not everyone can get access to a professional that can help them understand their emotions or behaviors. So the only way that many people can go about getting an idea of what it is that they may be going through is through social media or through any other means that can be used for pop psychology concepts. Whether or not those ideas that they're getting are based in scientific truth or not, they're getting an idea. And while popular psychology can be used to help give an idea for what it is that people may be experiencing when it comes to their own mental well-being, it doesn't negate the fact that there is still a level of harm that can be done when it comes to how pop psychology is being used within these mediums. Generalizing these psychological and mental health concepts and theories to the point that the scientific value of them is basically watered down can devalue the meaning behind them and essentially make them not hold the same weight that they're supposed to. It can take away the seriousness of many of you all saying that you all have depression or have anxiety when there is not extensive research being done on how these symptoms are being displayed clinically and how severe they may be. And the generalizing of these concepts and theories can lead down a road of much misinformation to where these theories can be used outside of their improper context to the point that we don't even know what these theories mean anymore. We can even take something as simple as the concept of antisocial. In the popular psychology realm, antisocial means that you like being alone or you have a lack of interest within being in social environments. When in reality, antisocial is you have ideations of wanting to harm people within society or wanting to use people for your personal gain, otherwise you disregard everything about them. The things that you all talk about when it comes to wanting to be alone or having a lack of wanting to be in social environments, just that is asocial. So things like that. And many times, much of that misinformation can be used and has been used to justify bad behavior, and it can be used to rationalize or even try to label people as being harmful or being bad based on an understanding of what we have from using pop psychology language. And those concepts can be used to fuel socially constructed ideas that are rooted in bigotry. Having ideas that men are supposed to be based on psychology inherently dominant and women are supposed to be inherently submissive, and anyone that operates outside of those realms are atypical. And we know how society likes to deem people as atypical based on what they are, who they are, and how they like to treat them when they deem them atypical. And it can't go without saying that many people who obtain pop psychology information feel like they're qualified to speak on human behavior and emotions, and they give themselves platforms and spaces where they're able to influence other people to think of these concepts improperly. All of these things track for what can be used for harm when it comes to pop psychology. And really, we can't even just say that pop psychology and the mediums that use pop psychology language are the only things that can cause harm when it comes to learning the discipline of psychology, when it comes to learning concepts of mental health. The discipline of psychology has an extensive history of concepts that were used to cause harm or to justify harm to groups of people. Psychology as a field and as a science is flawed and has been flawed from the beginning. So the creation of pop psychology language and the watering down of these concepts in order to justify any and everything, especially harmful behavior, is nothing new when it comes to this field that is full of many histories of pseudoscience concepts infiltrating and being part of the popular culture realm, even things that are still used to this day. From concepts like eugenics to concepts like craniometry to the Morning Head Report. He's in hell for writing that, not explaining further. But what does this mean for us? What does it mean that we're supposed to be doing when it comes to applying these concepts within their proper context, and how it is that we're supposed to be going about these approaches and practices that are going to be rooted in scientific truth when it comes to learning psychological concepts? From a systemic level, as someone who has a degree in psychology, is a crisis counselor, and is currently a master's student for a therapy program, there has to be a change to the system of access to care and access to education. Period. That full stop. No one should have to break the bank in order to understand their own mind, whether they're learning it through the means of getting care from any type of professional or they're learning it as a student trying to get the education. It should not take so much in order to understand how it is that they operate and understand how people within the world that they live in operate. But for those who are not within the field of psychology, whether it's receiving the education or receiving the care, there has to be a little bit more due diligence when it comes to the information that you're getting, especially when it comes to learning these concepts of psychology or even mental health. It's not enough to say that you have general anxiety disorder or to even diagnose yourself as having that just because you're scared of dogs. Like, wherever you have the access to get more research on what it is that you're actually trying to discover about yourself, research it, do it, look it up, ask a friend, like, do the extensive work to understand those concepts a little bit more than just reading an infographic or asking AI. That is a whole different video that I'm not finna get into right now. Because while it is of the utmost importance for you to understand concepts and to get information when it comes to how you operate as a human being, there can be a lot of damage done when there are concepts that are being generalized to the point that the meaning, especially the scientific truth behind it, is diluted. Because after all, words mean things. And those words are important, especially when it comes to understanding your own mind. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about. Like I said, I feel like it's an important topic to discuss, especially this month when it comes to men. Mental Health Awareness Month. Shout out to all y'all. Please take care of yourselves. Everyone. Like, especially during this time. Just do what you gotta do to take care of yourself. I will see y'all in the next video. That's it.